Well, since Mr. 880 was a true story, let's talk for a minute about the real art of making money. Fake money, real money, whatever. The press material that was released with the film included a lot of trivia about counterfeiting. For example, did you know that the Roman Emperor Nero was supposed to be the first counterfeiter? And if you think about that, it's kind of peculiar. I mean, if he was the emperor, I'm not really sure why he would turn to counterfeiting, but that's the way the story went. Well, anyway, some people think that one way to tell if money is fake or not is if you can rub the ink off and it comes off on your hands. Well, that's really not true because the ink rubs off real money just as well as the fake stuff. However, if you see that the bills are unusually dull or smudgy or unnaturally white, then you might have a problem. You might have illegal tender on your hands. And you can take a look, too, at the seals, those little round things in the corners with the teeth on them. If they have uneven or broken points, that's a good way to tell because it's very hard, apparently, to do that. Even the best engravers have to overcome one major difficulty in printing their own money. Even if their plates are perfect, it's the paper stock that's usually what gets them. Real U.S. currency is printed on paper with those red and blue silk threads that kind of run through it. It's very difficult to counterfeit, even with the most sophisticated basement workshop, especially if you don't have the right kind of paper. We'll be right back.
Here's an exciting offer from the channel that brought you 50 years of Hollywood. It's American Movie Classics Magazine, the magazine of classic Hollywood.
No kidding.
And you could subscribe to this unique and informative blend of history, fantasy, and information about the golden era of Hollywood.
That's right.
Every month, American Movie Classics Magazine takes you behind the scenes for an in-depth look at the movies and the mavens, the glamour and the gossip, the studios and the stars.
Now there's something a girl could make sacrifices for.
Each colorful issue is filled with photos, features, and fun. Find out about the movie milestones and the lavish lifestyles, the image makers and the deal breakers, the rumors and the romance. It's the greatest period in Hollywood history, beautifully recreated in the pages of this elegant monthly magazine.
Wait a minute, folks. You ain't heard nothing yet.
And there's more. Every month, we spotlight the classic movies and fabulous festivals running on American Movie Classics. Plus, you get a complete program listing for the entire month.
Remember, you heard it on this channel first.
It's a spectacular magazine that no movie fan will want to be without. And it's easy to order.
How do we do that?
Only $9.95 for 12 issues. Send your check or money order today to American Movie Classics Magazine, Post Office Box 506, Department A, Oceanside, New York, 11572.
I better mark that down so that I don't forget it.
Order the magazine of classic Hollywood. Subscribe to American Movie Classics Magazine.
We're back. You know, we've often talked about the job of casting here on American Movie Classics. How does the producer arrive at that all-important final decision in the making of a great motion picture? Perhaps the most sought-after role in the history of film was that of Scarlett O'Hara in Gone with the Wind. Every actress in Hollywood at that time wanted the part. David O. Selznick, in fact, did screen tests with just about every one of them. There was Lucille Ball and Joan Crawford, Paulette Goddard, Tallulah Bankhead, Jean Arthur, and Claudette Colbert, just to name a few. And the search went on and on. Selznick was just not able to make up his mind, and the film was really well into production before Vivien Leigh came to his attention. Now, just prior to that time, Selznick had serious thoughts about casting Joan Bennett in that role. Now, recently, we were able to talk with Joan in New York, and she told us how it all came down to the wire between Vivien Leigh and Joan Bennett.
I made 3 tests for Gone with the Wind, and I was right on the spot, practically, to play Scarlett O'Hara, but Vivien Leigh came over to see Larry Olivier, who was doing a picture at Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer, and David Selznick tested her, and she got the part. I always said if Vivien Leigh hadn't come over to see Larry, I would have played Scarlett O'Hara.
Well, Joan Bennett didn't get the role of Scarlett O'Hara, but she certainly had her share of great performances in a very long and a very successful career. Remember her, for example, as Spencer Tracy's wife and father of the bride. Or Woman in the Window, that was a great one. Or The Man in the Iron Mask. And Dark Shadows on television. She was famous for that alone. We'll be right back. American Movie Classics presents Newsreel Theater, featuring rare newsreel footage of historic people and events.